it's looking like this. Hello, right, the scrappy flax. I think it's time to revisit it and sort it out, because since I threw my toys out the pram, it's just been thrown in the bag and it's a mess. So I've already taken the needles out, which horrified a few of you, I know. So yeah, it's looking like this. So I think it's time to start sorting it out. And little bits everywhere. I'm going to sort it all out and get them in here. So I've got all my scraps together. They're not going to be used now. Well, this is, because I'm still going to use the turquoise as one of the main colours. So what my plan still is, after much thought and deliberation, and thank you for all your suggestions. So I decided that, if you haven't seen this before, once I got down to here, I decided I didn't like the look of it. I was using different scrap yarns. So I decided that I definitely do like this top section. So this is Drops Nord in the ocean colourway, which is how the ribbon is there. And then introduced some turquoise, which is Yarn Smith's 4-ply. So I'm holding 2 yarns, 2 4-plies double for this. So I'm going to take it back up to this part and then put the needles back in. So that's before the separation for the sleeves. So I just have it on one big needle and then start increasing again, because I need more increases down there. So I shall pick up the stitches and see where I am. But for now, I've literally got yarn everywhere. So yeah, I've got my coffee. So I'm going to sit here and just make my way through it and sort out this big mess. Well, my fingers have had a knitting itch, so I had to cast something on. But of course, I cast on those scraps that I was getting from the jumper, so I could use those. So the main colour, oh, it's going to be socks, by the way. Didn't want to start off anything big because I want to carry on with that sweater as soon as the new yarn arrives. It should be arriving today, hopefully. It's supposed to be arriving this afternoon, so then I can carry on with it. But in the meantime, I have salvaged this yarn. And so that is my main colour. And then I'm using the troublesome brighter yarn that just stopped me knitting the other jumper. So I had this as well. So I am doing my cuffs in that one, and then the main part in the other. So I cast on, I've got size 6 feet UK, so I cast on 64 stitches, then 2x2 rib, and then I'm just doing a plain vanilla sock. So that is where I am. I have my little shoe stitch marker. Don't know if you can see that. That's just one I made ages ago. So yes, that kept my hands busy while I am waiting. So I'll show you how the sweater is now. So it's in waiting now. So it's a lot further back than it was. I've gone right back to the end of that section. I'm sorry, I forgot. I did say to somebody in the comments on the last video, she was asking about ripping back and picking up stitches, and I was going to show that and I forgot completely. But what I was going to say is that generally I'm fine doing that. So I'm out of focus. Well, I'll show you anything. I'm fine doing that when the stitches are like this and they're really stable. Then it's easy to just pick them up. But if they're not stable stitches, then yeah, you'd have to do each stitch, and I wouldn't go that far because it would be a nightmare to pick them up. And this is also just stockinette, apart from the increases there, which I can correct if I need to. If I find that I've lost it, I can go back and redo that. So if I need to do the increases on the row below, I know how to do that. So it's one of those things where it's just about experience, and being able to read your knitting is also a good thing. So taking note of, so you know, if the leg of the stitch isn't right, you can just swap it round when you've picked it up and things like that. So it's all about experience. So yeah, it is pretty straightforward. I would say though, I always have a crochet hook, because the best way of, if you have dropped a stitch or a stitch has gone missing, the easiest way to pick it up, I find, is a crochet hook, and just re-follow it up the ladder basically. So yes, so sorry I forgot to show, but yeah, it is, these stitches are very stable and easy to see. So yeah, that was no problem at all. So I'm right back there and hoping to carry on today. But I have been thinking about that yarn that I have got spare and what I want to do with it now, because I still want to use it up as a scrappy project. And my thoughts have turned to blankets. So I have already, and I'm thinking crochet blankets, because the good thing, I'm not a crocheter, I can only do blankets. But the good thing about a crochet blanket is that you've only got one stitch on your hook at one time, whereas if you're doing a knitted blanket, generally you've got a lot of stitches. There are patterns where you can do a little bit and then pick up stitches, but I don't want to do that. For me, blankets are just carry on, just TV knitting. And so the first blanket I did was this one, which is just treble crochets and it's just stripes. But then you get a lot of ends to do, to weave in and stuff, which is okay, but I've still got ends to weave in. I made this years ago, there's still ends. I don't know why when it's not on me, I don't just do it, but yeah. But I love this blanket and I do use this blanket a lot. But then this year I have finished this blanket, which is, that is a all sorts of different yarn. There's acrylic, there's wool, but it's a DK weight one. This one is a claw ply fingering, so it is just sock yarns, this one. And it started off as a granny square, and then I just kept on going. And I really like this one. It has served the purpose. I wanted a blanket that I could take out into the garden and either have it around me or have it on the chair and then wrap around me, or just over my legs or whatever. And this is just perfect. I've been using this as well in the summer. As I've mentioned before, sometimes I get up at silly o'clock and it's nice to put this on the chair and say wrap it around so it's covering my legs. So I've got something on my legs, but I don't need a dressing gown. But you just want something over. And yeah, so I've been using it outside, I've been using it inside. And so I really like that it is the lighter weight, but can be folded over for a heavier blanket. So I would like to make another one of these for my car. So I thought that would be good to have it in the car as just in case, or if it is cold and you first get in and you just want to put it over you or something, or no, because I don't wear a long coat, so if I just wanted to put it on the seat and then wrap around, so it's just that bit so you don't get the coldness of the seat or whatever. So yes, I was thinking I'm going to make one, start using my sock scraps for one of these. But the change I want to make, lessons I learnt from doing this one, is that I don't like the solid bit in the middle. So I only want to have one row of each colour and then change. But the way I was doing it before is I wasn't keeping the same place. So just when I come to like the end of the row, I was just doing one of those magic knots. And so I never had to weave in ends. I just went, so if it went a little bit further or it was a little bit short, I wasn't precious about it. But it just kept it fun, and I could just join on extra yarn. Where are my joins? I won't find them now. It's always the same, isn't it? Looking through, can you see it? I can't see it. There is a place where I was changing the colours. So there should be a bit of a jog somewhere. I can't see it, you've probably seen it. But yeah, when there's so much going on in the blanket, you really don't notice. So that's why I'm not precious about it. It is just something to use and enjoy, and I love all the colours. So I am going to start another granny square blanket. It takes forever, but it's also nice when the weather does start getting cooler that you've got it on your lap. And I also like doing the long runs as well. As it gets bigger, I like doing a long run because then you're not moving it around so much. So yeah, I really like granny square blanket. So I'm going to use all my scraps now for one of these and start that. So I could have started some of the socks, but I didn't want to. I just wanted some stockinette knitting. I know I'm not alone. Other people know what it's like. You just have this craving, don't you? That's the thing. Just because I thought, right, I'm going to concentrate on my cross stitch now. Obviously, I want to knit. But then if I want to knit, if I want to get something finished and I feel like, right, just stick with this Tina and knit it, then I want to cross stitch. The joy of being a multi-crafter. But that is where I am. So I'm waiting now, ear out, for the postman to deliver that parcel, and then I can carry on. The yarn has arrived, so we can carry on with the sweater. Open her up. Oh yeah. I forgot I didn't ask for a bag because it comes in a bag. So I have got 8, oops, arrange them, 8 50 gram balls of the Drop Snood. And so this is, I'm sure it's Ocean it's called, but it's colour 09. As you see, it is very greeny blue. Love this colour. So I shall put it in my box. So I have got in here, with that one, which one is it connected to? So I've got the remains of 100 grams, 200 grams, 300 grams, and then some scraplets. So I've got basically 300 grams of that turquoise colour, but then, because I'm not sure how much I'm going to need, I have got 400 grams of this. I've already got that, the remains of, I don't know how much was that, but less than 50 grams I used to start with. Because I am thinking what I want to do is, I've got the neckband in just a single colour. I also want to do the cuffs and the hem as well, just in single. But what I'm thinking is, if this runs out before the Nord, even if it's like up here, so look at my arms. I've got burns from the air fryer. I've got a bruise from door handle. I'm just accident prone. So yes, what's the saying? So if this runs out, when it gets to like here, if there's not enough, then I shall just do more of just the single colour and the same. I shall see how it goes. But I can also always get more. This is different to this one, but I think it's close enough. and I shall introduce it at the same sort of time. But I think once it's actually combined with the Nord, I really don't think you notice anyway, so I want to use that up. So yes, I have all my yarn, and so tonight, oops, I'll be back on to the sweater and get back to where I was before. I would like to say though, anyone who has supported me on Ko-fi and also on the thanks button underneath the videos, thank you so much, and that money goes towards yarn, so I use that, so it's always really nice to see it in my PayPal account, and then I can just use it for the yarn I need. And it also saved me as well, because generally, because it's £30 you get free shipping, and usually then I start thinking, is it worth it? And there was £15 difference this time, so I thought, no, it's not worth it. And especially because I had that I could pay for it, I thought, no, I'll just get what I need rather than making it up and without really a plan. I want to just buy what I need when I need it. So yes, thank you so much, it made a huge difference. I have finished a little bit of my cross stitch while after I had lunch. So this is the Tarot for Stitches. I have been behind, I've been playing catch up, and so I did another card. So I just need to do one more card, because these come out, you get two, it's a monthly thing, and so you get two each month. So this one is for August. I've got one more for August. So I have done, I can't remember the last time I've shown you, but this is Wheel of Fortune, Justice, and the Tethered one, also known as Hanging Man. So yeah, I love these. They are, sorry, distracted, husband sent me a message. Yeah, I love these. I love how colourful it's coming out, and every single design has been a pleasure, and they're nice and small, so easy to do. So yeah, really love that. I am behind on the buttons, so I've got button to do here, and also the edging as well. I'm behind on that, so I need to catch up with that one as well. But yeah, really enjoy doing those ones. So I've got, was it the 28th today? I've got about 4 days before the next two come out, but I'm not too worried. This is what I'm concentrating on right now. It's the only one that I'm stitching on. So yeah, just like with my box with my knitting, I've got a box just with this, so I could just pick it up and carry on. It'll be in the frame to just carry on with as I want to, and it does stitch up quite fast because it is quite blocks of colour. So yeah, really enjoy that, really glad I did it. Not looking forward to the framing of it because I still haven't framed my Long Dog sampler, so I need to get a big frame for that as well, but I've been putting that off until I've actually got a wage coming in. Which is sensible, but it also means that I can just put it off for now because that's a huge one as well. But yeah, it's going to be great, isn't it, to have this in the craft room. It's just perfect for the craft room, and loving the colours. It's going to go really well in here as well. So yes, all is good. Enjoying my craft. So that is me sorted for tonight. So I shall see how I get on with that. Could you hear me huffing and puffing? I've been following a tutorial by Bella Coco for my crochet blanket. I decided that the scraps, once I got all my scraps together, I thought, right, I spoke before about the blanket, I'd like to do another one. So I went on the Bella Coco to see about just starting off my granny square, because it's always the start that I have trouble with. And I saw a month ago she did a granny square blanket. Quick and easy granny square blanket. Well, of course she used Aran weight, I think, but of course I'm using sock weight yarn. So is coming open, but I did do the magic circle start. I've got all, she was doing hers in as she went, but I was having trouble with my yarn management. So yeah, because it was so small and fiddly, I was having trouble with it. So I thought I'd just sort out the ends afterwards. Let's just get this a bit bigger so we know what we're doing. So yeah, that's my start. So I'm really pleased with it. It's squarer than my start on the last blanket because I was doing the thing where you flip it round. So I was doing that. So I've pulled all the yarns to the back so you could see it. But I was flipping it from one side to the other and starting different places to try and keep it square. So this is how it's going to be now. I'm just going to carry on going round and round. There's no spaces in between, so you just do 2 chain at the corners, all the rest are just trebles in each hole. And yeah, and she's got a border as well, a thin border that goes around, so I should check back on that when I get to it. But this is literally going to be just an as and when. I've got a big bag, so that's just going to be downstairs, and then I'll just pick it up and do some when I fancy. But yeah, it could take a year, it could take 2 years, it doesn't matter. It's just a fun thing that I can keep adding to when I've ever got some more yarns. So yeah, I'm glad I had a go at that. I'm quite pleased with how it went. As I say, it wasn't really smooth, but it was okay. So yeah, I've got a long way to go, but I'm loving those colours together. So I think I'm going to wrap this up here for now, because I've got those projects, and so I'm just going to be slowly chipping away at those, and I shall talk to you again when I've got some progress. So thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.